As schools reopen, albeit for candidates and grade 4 pupils, one sensitive subject that parents shy away from and the government has not yet given clear direction on is the fate of hundreds of schoolgirls who got pregnant during the COVID-19 break. Well, tonight we bring you into the world of 3 girls whom we will call Kate, Winnie and Joan to protect their identities. Well, Kate is 3 months pregnant. She became expectant while out of school as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Winnie and Joan are both candidates and teenage moms. Well, this is their story that will need us to look inward at a shadow pandemic at the time of COVID-19 and think deeply of how to safeguard our children even when they stay at home in fragile contexts. This story was produced by Ben Kirui and Dorcas Wangira.
Kama si COVID, sai life ingekuwa tu fine. Hata life ingekuwa sasa hivi ngumu, sasa ni ngumu hivi.
Dream yangu ilikuwa kuwa nurse in future, lakini sasa venye nilipata hii ball, sasa naona hadi ni kama sitaendelea na masomo na sitaweza kuachieve dream yangu juu mtoto.
Shule inarudi na si eti shule itarudi na wale watu wote, ni form 4, grade 4 na standard 8. So tunaona wale wenye bado watabaki kwa nyumba ni wengi sana.
Korogosho is the 4th largest slum neighborhood in Nairobi after Kibera, Mathare Valley and Mukuru Kwanjenga, lying northeast of the city center. When Kenya recorded its first case of COVID-19 in March, people living in informal settlements such as this one were classified as vulnerable, especially because of lack of access to clean water and sanitation facilities. It was feared that the number of infections would be high, while all the attention was on the spread of the virus. A shadow pandemic, the social and economic impact, particularly on the children who had to stay at home when schools were closed, was being cast. It's not easy being a girl in Korogosho. It's twice as hard being expectant at the same time.
These young ladies, they trade sex for food, for sanitary baths, because they have no source of income. And without any source of income of their parents, life turned upside down for the informal settlement. You have got high sexual crimes within the informal settlements.
A 17-year-old girl, a Form 2 student we will call Kate, is 3 months pregnant. The man responsible is a 25-year-old Dandora resident. Her pregnancy, owing to her status as a minor and being below the age of consent, is a result of statutory rape.
Nikasikia simu ikilia, nikiwa nje, nikaenda nikapika. Akaniambia niende, nikamwambia mimi niko busy na plus sina fare. Akaniambia fare ndafanya nini, ndakutumia. Alinitumianga wanchwani yani. Nikaoga, nikajivaa, mimi nikatoka. Nikaenda, nikapata vyombo sijaoshwa, nikamwoshea, nguo nikamwoshea pia. Kaka the whole day hapo kitu 6 nikamwambia sasa mimi nadai kurudi home. Sasa hapo ndo sasa kaanza stories juu mimi nafanya nini, mimi nadai. Tulisumbuana kidogo by the way. Nikamwambia mimi sai hapana. Akaanza kuniambia juu usiogope ball, talea ndakuoa. Sasa najili akili ndogo, nikaingia box. Singepatana naye juu sina time. Hata kufikiria sijui niko na mtu, sijui chali. Ukitoka shule 6 umepata hapo vyombo ni kuosha, kabla umalize kuosha saa 1 ishafika. Kando wewe sasa unaingia kwa vitabu, sasa kuna ile temeti ya kuzurura huku na huku.
To add insult to injury, he has refused to take responsibility for Kate and the child she is expecting.
Dream yangu ilikuwa kuwa lawyer. Sasa inaona imefail, na nimefika mwisho. Sasa sioni kama nitakuwa na dream tena. Maisha ya shule ilikuwa sasa naona nimetengwa, niko solo. Hadi sasa sometimes unafikiria hadi ujiue. Hadi unajiuliza sasa mtu yaka utampeleka wapi? Life unaona imekukalia ngumu, ile ngumu kabisa.
Kate's experience is not uniquely hers. At this time of the pandemic, teenage pregnancies as a result of schools being closed was a matter of great concern. But the lack of coherent data on child pregnancies in the country is also a major concern. According to Health CAS Dr. Masi Mwangangi, 30,000 girls aged 15 to 19 had visited various hospitals from January to June this year for antenatal care. Not all cases of child pregnancies are being reported, especially at the time of the pandemic.
Compound, a facility, Korogocho facility, tunarifawa na wanaenda kwa antenatal care.
In this neighborhood, according to LVCT Health Societies, 7 girls of the 4,417 they mentor became expectant during the COVID-19 pandemic.
The ministry considers one pregnancy of a teenager too many.
But the longer the school-going children stay out of school, one of the most safe spaces for children, the situation could get worse.
So ni jukumu langu na jukumu la wale watu wengine pia wale wenye community watusaidie.
Right now we are doing one-on-one session, but it's not enough. We are trying to teach them on passing information, the risk of engaging in early sex.
Meters from where Kate lives, Winnie, a Form 4 candidate, lets us read the chapters of her story. Raising her 1-year, 8-month-old child is a difficult task. She is unlikely to go back to school on Monday, October 12 for her final year.
Alikuwa ananipatia to 500 tuseme in a week. Sasa ndo nikaingia box nikasema acha niingie box ya uchali juu labda atanisatisfy na kenye mimi nataka. Akiniongelesha mbele alikuwa anasema yeye hataki kunaribia maisha, anataka nimalize hiyo shule. Nikishamaliza shule tutaendelea na kenye tulikuwa tunafanya.
Here you find a canvas of another girl we will call Joan, a Form 4 candidate raising a child who is 2 months old.
Dream yangu ilikuwa kuwa nurse in future, lakini sasa venye nilipata hii ball sasa naona hadi ni kama sitaendelea na masomo na sitaweza kuachieve hiyo dream yangu juu mtoto.
The government's re-entry policy is clear that expectant girls or those who delivered can resume their studies. It is clear in principle but not in practice. The 3 girls in this story tell us they do not foresee resuming their studies. They have to bear the burden of being children raising their children. As schools reopen for candidates in grade 4 pupils, the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health have an uphill task of accounting for expectant girls who will drop out of school owing to pregnancy. Child protection is a shared responsibility between the government, the community and parents. Achieving a teenage-free pregnancy society is an arduous task, but with strong child protection systems and community-based protection systems, as well as a more robust Children's Act and Sexual Offences Act, child predators can be held to account. These 3 girls still have dreams of a better future, but being children with children, those dreams sometimes flicker and they wane, but with the right support, they need not die. Dorcas Wangira, Citizen TV, Nairobi.